Good afternoon. This is Brother Herman with MaikumCdeTruth.org. We are the nonprofit organization who has been anointed and appointed by our Holy Trinity Most High Godhead. This is our Father God, our Lord Jesus, Yeshua, whatever you want to call him, it doesn't matter, and our Holy Spirit. We have been anointed and appointed, chosen to bring forth, be used to bring forth some knowledge, some correct informations inside of the spiritual realm, outside of the spiritual realm, I should say, into this thing that we call reality. A lot of people are walking around right now struggling, and they are, just don't have the resources or the social circle, the people to reach out to. So what we're here to do is to give them a little bit of information, some knowledge as to how to cope through the things that we call, the trials and the tribulations, the hurdles, the obstacles, and most importantly, the challenges. Because through life, we're going to be challenged, and our job is to help you be able to see the challenge correctly the way you need to, and to actually be able to overcome each hurdle, each obstacle during that challenge, so that you can be on the better side of that time and that time period in your life. We left off about 4 months ago. We did series 21. We wrapped it up. It was God is the experience we come to seek. And the last episode was Are You Asleep? Episode number 10 out of series 21. We're about to kick off series 22 right now, which we have entitled God Empowers Us Through, and we're going to be kicking off episode number 1, which we have entitled Overcoming Challenges. Ironic, but we're going to be talking about overcoming challenges. We're going to be talking about some of the things that we could be born into that could give us challenges right off the bat, from childhood well into adulthood. So all 10 episodes are going to be related to such a matter. It's going to have topics, subject matters that are going to be related to this particular topic, which is overcoming challenges. God empowers us through everything. So we're going to focus on that. We're going to go ahead and kick it off, and we're going to begin it with talking about these particular options and that we have that we sometimes don't know that we have. We're going to be talking about things that that can help bring awareness, because this is about spiritual awareness and psychological counseling. I'm in school now. I'm back in college, and I'm going to be finishing up my bachelor's degree in just a few short months, and then I'll be moving on to my master's and on to my doctorate. And so what we're going to do is we're going to blend spirituality with psychology. We're going to mix the two, and we're going to see how many people we can be used to assist to have some better decision making, so that they can have some better outcomes, some better, aftermath, if you will. And we'll kick it off right now, and you just hang on tight, and I'm going to go ahead and get you right to it. Thank you. Not learn anything in my 52 years on this planet. I have learned this one thing. And what I've learned is that we have choices, options. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you do. I'm not here to tell you who you are or where you're at in life. I'm here to help you cope through where you are in life. That is my job. That is my position. So I have decided to go back into school, into college, finish up this psychology degree. I'm going to finish up my BA and get my MA next. Then I'll move on and go on to my doctorate. And once that happens, I'll become what's known as a doctor in psychology. I have a lot of background. I have a lot of experience to bring to the table of the knowledge. So my job is to be used by my Father to bring forth some healing and some remedies and some, just some way outs. Every time, everybody needs a way out sometimes. And I'm not saying that we all need to avoid the consequences of our actions. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that sometimes we come into consequences because of our actions, for the simple fact that we lack the knowledge necessary to make a good decision with the choices that we've been presented. That's what this is about. So we're about to crank up series 22, entitled God Empowers Us Through. This will be episode number 1, which is what I'm about to unleash. And it is entitled Overcoming Challenges. We're going to begin it like this. I'm going to start from a point in life where I can barely remember up until the teenage years. And I'm just going to give you an example of overcoming challenges. When I was born into a single parent home. Well, actually, I was born into a married couple home. But they became separated early on. I would say around the age of 4. So my mom was a single parent after I was about the age of 5. And since then, a lot of things started to take place in my life, even before then. Because at the age of 3, I can remember being in a city called Fort Myers, Florida, and her having me in the car in the front seat with no seatbelt on. Back then, it was not such a thing as a law to have the seatbelt on, or even to have the child in the back seat. Anyway, I was standing up in front of on the front seat in the front of the car, and I was leaning up against the passenger door. And I remember her making a left and turning that corner in Fort Myers, Florida. And when she made that left at that light, I remember that door opening up and my little body falling out onto the pavement. I remember everybody freaking out and people like really upset at my mom. How did I wind up 3-4 years old on the pavement falling out of her car? But anyway, fast forward, I remember nothing major happening. No major damage. And that was something that I wasn't aware of at the time, but I became aware of later on in life because people began to talk about that type of a thing, and I began to hear about it. I didn't pay much attention to it because I didn't think nothing of it. It was like, okay, I was lucky. Then again, when I was 5, around the age of 5, I remember being at this place called Sundown Apartments, which became Maximo Apartments, which is now some other type of a name, in the south side of St. Pete. And I remember being 5 years old, crossing the street inside the apartment complex. I remember this moped coming, and I remember that the moped came so fast that I didn't really have enough time to run out of the way. So I was struck by it. And when I was struck by it, I remember blood coming up down my ear. And what I was told was that my ear was kind of hanging or whatever. But that was about the extent of it. And then when I was about 13, I remember being struck again by a friend's grandfather. And the grandfather, he was a little tipsy. He didn't see me coming. I was in the last one at the end of the bike gang. And we used to ride around the neighborhood in bike gangs, like a lot of us. And I was pretty far behind. So he saw the last one go, but he didn't see me coming. And because of that, he took off and hit me. And when I flew up, I can distinctly remember flying up in the air, off the bike, into the air. And as I came down out of the air, off of 26th Avenue and 19th Street South, St. Pete, Florida, I can remember someone catching me, like hands, arms catching me. But there was no one there. And he sat me, whoever it was, sat me down in the middle of 26th Avenue South, right between 19th Street and 20th, and sat me down gently. Because I was struck by the car, I had some little road rash on my tibia, which is the bottom of your front of your legs, the bone area. And nothing else was majorly done to me. The front wheel was bent. I picked the bike up, took it to my house, which is about 2 or 3 blocks away from the scene of the hit, and fixed the front rim because it was bent in half, and I got back into the bike gang, and that was about the extent of it. I didn't think nothing of it, but I did remember those hands catching me, but I didn't know what to do with that either, so I kept that to myself. Then again, when I was about, let's say 25, I was 1997, 25 years old, I had bought my first motorcycle, Honda 1979 CRX 500. And I remember cruising, coming off the highway, approaching downtown St. Pete, 4th Avenue, 4th Street, coming off that highway, and all of a sudden a car just came out in the back and just clipped me. And I didn't even see the car coming, didn't even hear him coming because I'm on my bike. And he hit the back of my tire, and I went flying in the air, about a good 60 yards is what they told me, which is a good distance. Maybe feet. I would say 60 feet, because yards that's a lot. That's a lot. I would say 60 feet. And when I guess I went unconscious at that moment, and when I woke up, came to a little bit, I felt them cutting off my jeans. The paramedics, they were cutting off my jeans, and they were, I don't know, taking my vitals or whatever, trying to see how much damage was done from the road rash. And my helmet went one way and my motorcycle went the other way, and I guess I went the third way. But I woke up in Bayfront Medical Hospital at the time, and I was furious. I just remember waking up with IVs in both arms, tubes up my nose. I was running late for work that day. So I snatched the tubes out and I said, you know what? I ain't doing this. I ain't laying here and losing a good job because I had a good job at the time. I didn't think nothing about what happened, what had happened. Nothing really was fresh in my memory until later on. And I began to have these flashbacks of what actually happened. But fast forward, I get hit again. And that was in 2017 or 19. The point is, I started out rough in life. At the young age, I still was able to do well in school. I was probably one of the top in my classes. I can remember when I was 12 years old winning an award for coming in second for the spelling bee contest in our region. It was a national spelling bee contest, and I was at a school by the name of Madeira Beach Middle at that time. I also won another award at that time for Apple IIc computers. And it was coming up with the best slogan for Apple IIc computers. And I can remember the slogan that I came up with. My teacher helped me, of course. But it was get to the core of Apple IIc computers. I came in first for that. I can remember just excelling all through my early school years. But then I began to struggle because I began to feel out of place because I was gifted in certain areas of knowledge and whatnot. So I began to make mistakes and choose the wrong company to keep. And that company would lead me to change my personality in the way that I was perceiving life and looking at things in life, including everyone in life. I also began to see that there was a lot of people around me that had fathers that I didn't have. I began to see that they had things that I didn't have. So I began to covet a little bit. Became a little envious, a little jealous, and I became, I was confused, young man, but I had no one there to kind of coach me through this, mentor me through it. No mentors, no dad, no big brothers, none of that. So what I had was, I had a big brother, but he was kind of confused himself. So all we had was the streets. And the streets, whatever part of that street that you're in, it doesn't really matter. But certain parts have certain characteristics, individuals in that particular neighborhood. And I would find myself being influenced a lot due to the neighborhood peers that I would have to, the company I would have to keep. I began to take my mind off the gifts that God had gave me, which was the ability to be intelligently thinking things through and to start making poor decisions in life. That would take me down a trail that led me into something that I would never believe, which was a thing called prison. Well, while in prison, I wind up taking several different classes and educating myself in areas where I never thought imaginable. But at the same time, I was always a friend of school. I was always fond of learning, of higher learning, not just learning, but higher learning, that there's a difference. So my job today is to overcome every obstacle that presents itself. But not just overcome the challenge, the obstacle. My job is to also overcome the challenge, learn from the challenge, learn and respect and praise who helped me overcome each challenge that I've been through in my entire life, and also become an ability which is capable to teach what I've learned. So how do I do that? Well, I can go to the source who was my protector from the beginning, which is God. I can say thank you to him and give praise to him, and then I can ask him, how can I share my story and teach others who are facing such challenges in life? Sometimes people grow up in life where they don't have a whole lot of resources and a whole lot of social circles and a whole lot of people that they can fall back on or run to. So they don't even know about God for that matter. And that's the saddest part of it all, because I didn't really learn about God till I was about 36 years old. So that's about 16 years? So for the last 16 years, I've been learning about who my Father is and what he expects of me and why he created me. Why am I here? Simple reason is to help and serve. Jesus came to serve. He didn't come to be served. He said it himself. I'm just repeating what he said. And so I don't believe anybody that's on Jesus's team or sent by Jesus, Yeshua, whatever you want to call him. It's cool with us because we really don't care. Everybody knows Jesus by a different name anyway. He's still the same deity, the same Jesus, the same Yeshua. He's still that same God. And he's the one that's going to help you understand who you are, why you came here, the challenges that you're going to face in order to what? Become stronger, better than who you are, better than who you think you are. Let me correct myself, because I just heard the Holy Spirit. So it's not about how good you are, how good I am, or how good they are. This what it is really about is how can I word this? What is the closest symbology or representative that you can be representing the one who you love the most? So if you love someone, with all your heart, mind, body, and soul, then you would want to be kind of like them. You want to imitate them. You don't want to be them. You want to kind of be like them. And everybody does it. And those who say that they don't, well, you can say that they are not necessarily telling the truth. But everybody has some idol or image in their head of someone that they would like to be alike, but not necessarily be them, because everybody has different shoes to wear. Everybody has different bags to carry in life. So you don't necessarily want to be that person. You want to be kind of resemble them. In other words, you might like the way that they treat people, or you might like the way that they treat their family and deal with situations in life. You might like how motivated they are, self-motivated. They don't need any, outside motivation. You might like certain different characteristics about that person, but that doesn't mean that you want to be that person or wear that person's shoes. I love Jesus with all my heart, and I would never want to wear his shoes, but I do want to be like him. In other words, I know I can't wear his shoes. So why would I frustrate myself with that frustrating thought and try to wear Jesus' shoes? I will not. That is something that I won't do. He even told me not to. He said, "You're getting in my way." I said, "Why did you say that?" He said, "Because what if I want them to cry out to me, but you're always doing the handout thing? They're looking towards you. They're not looking towards me. So I need you to get out of my way. I need you to stop trying to be me." I was like, oh my God, I got it. So there's going to be growth spurts in your life during this course of learning how to balance out all your challenges that you are faced with. You're going to be born a certain way. You're going to go through certain things. Certain things are going to, you might think that no one else is really going through, but there's many people that really are. And all we need to do is reach out and ask. We have not because we ask not. What we're learning today is to ask. And once we look up and ask, not out and ask, because that is a difference. My Lord, our God, the Creator, whatever you want to call him, is asking for you and I to look up and ask, not out and ask. And our problem is, most of the time, and why we always have so many consequences and making bad decisions with consequences as an aftermath, it's because we choose to look out and ask before we choose to look up and ask. So my job today is to teach you how to look up and ask. I'm also here to teach you how to cope through whatever challenge it is that you're going through. I don't care what obstacle presents itself during that challenge. My job is to help you get over the obstacle. See the challenge for what it is, and then receive it, accept it, and build upon it. Let it become a stepping stone for you, so that you can use it as a stairway into your greatness. That's my job. So that's episode number 1 out of series 22. God empowers us through. Episode number 1, overcoming challenges. That's all I'm here to do. Everything you need to support MaikumCdeTruth.org, Brother Herman Sermons, is on the front of this channel, on the front of this lesson, this teaching. If you want to reach out, and I've said something that kind of caught your thought, caught your, kind of touch you a little bit closely or personally, then by all means, hit that comment button. Reach out. If I can help you, I will. This is not about $1. This is about more character, less confusion in this world that we all have to live in. This is December 2024, and we're still living like we're 1924 in some places, some states, some cities. So my job is to be a part of that movement that's going to bring about change, so that we don't have to feel like this is 1924, 1925, but rather than 2025. With everybody loving each other, understanding that we all have differences. No one is better than any other. If that was the case, God would have told us so. He didn't tell me that. What he did tell me is he is no respecter of persons. And what my great Martin Luther King Jr. told us is that one day we'll be judged by the content of our character, not the color or the religion or the whatever, gender, sexual identity, whatever identity you choose, but by the content of our character. One day we will be judged. So my job is to establish and perpetuate that type of a message. Make them see the truth. What do you think that means? It means make them see Jesus. Jesus says, I am the truth, the way, and the life. No one comes to God except through him. So that's what my job is to do, to help you understand. Once you receive that truth about who you are, who God is, who you are, what your mission is, what your purpose is, be able to see that clearly, then you'll be able to see every challenge, every obstacle, every hurdle very clearly. Therefore, even if you stumble, you know that your leg just got a little stronger. Your kneecap might have got a little stronger. You might have got a bruise in that area, in your skin area got a little tougher. It's more like alligator skin now. You know how to jump a little higher now because you know you was about 6 inches too short in that leap. So it does make you smart and make you stronger when you fail. When we fail, that's what helps us to learn and become better. Or become frustrated enough to quit. And that is something that we just don't do. All the great people, including your family members, all the great ones, all the ones who seem blessed, more blessed, highly favored than others, it's only because they are the ones who never, ever even give quitting a thought. That's not even an option, quitting, no. So what we have learned to do is to overcome every challenge, every hurdle, every obstacle. And we also know that we can't do that without the highest power of them all, and that is our Holy Trinity. Whoever you believe in, that to be higher than yourself, that's who you need to be looking to help you overcome challenges. In our case, it's the Holy Trinity. Your case, it might be Allah. Your case, it might be Buddha. Your case, it might be whoever. But it doesn't matter. Who you call him, it's still, we're all talking about God, the creator of us all. That's who we need to be looking to give us the knowledge, to be able to press through every hurdle, every obstacle, every challenge in life. So every episode that I'm going to do from this moment forward, it's going to be about something that is going to help us press forward. Not think about today or yesterday. We're going to be thinking about tomorrow. We're going to be working today for tomorrow. That means I'm going to be teaching for today for tomorrow. That's every episode. And until then, I want you to take care of yourself. May each one bless one. May each one teach one. This is your brother Herman from MaikumCdeTruth.org. And may God continue to bless us all. Thank you.